How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about MULN that finished almost up 10% on the day. We're continuing to see inflows coming into the stock, but there's some factors that I want to discuss with you. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for MULN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $1.75, being up 9.37%. On the low, it tested $1.52, and then on the high, testing $1.78. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 139.099 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 210.883 million shares. So what we noticed, we did have below average volume on the day, but we still saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 52.67. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, but we still continue to be above the 21-day EMA. And if you guys remember what I said in the previous video, I said this was a key area for us to hold. We ended up getting to a low of $1.52, and we only visited that low when we had the news in regards to the Fed saying how often they're going to be raising interest rates and the fact that they're able to stick with it with 25 basis points. But knowing that, I think if we didn't have any of those concerns whatsoever or have that volatility, we would have been able to hold up at least around $1.62 on the day. I was watching it very closely, and that was a strong area of support around 162, 163. So that is exactly what we want to see. So knowing that we closed at 175, then going into tomorrow, I'm looking forward to us making that push again to $2. If we are unable to do that, then I'm looking for a higher low. And what I mean by that, I want to see us hold up whether it might be $1.60 or $1.63. If we could do that and then go into Friday, it continues to look bullish. As far as for the second case scenario, if we end up having some consolidation, then I'd want to see us continue to hold up the $1.50 level. But like I said previously, as long as we could stay above the 21-day EMA, which is at $1.43, then I feel Mullen is still in good territory. I'd only be concerned unless the stock broke down and we started getting down here to the $1.30 area. So let's see how it performs going into tomorrow. But one thing that is for sure, Mullen is headed in the right direction. Let's get into the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent short interest information for MULN. So for the off-exchange short volume ratio, it's at 34.81%. And then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 51.43 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 5.2 million, updated 3 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 14.69%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 14th, it was at 37.66. And then for the close of the 15th, which was yesterday, being at 34.81. So one thing that remains clear, Mullen does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for MULN. So we see on the inflows at 53.44 and then on the outflows at 46.49. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 14.02, on the medium it was 31.62, and then on the small it was 7.80. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 13.94, on the medium it was 26.83, and then on the small it was 5.72. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for March the 16th we ended up having an inflow of 0.08 million. Analyzing the numbers even further, further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 414.76%. So we already know Mullen is a trader's paradise, and that's the reason why the turnover ratio is high. So it's going to be very interesting going into tomorrow and as well as for Friday to see how it performs, because one thing that was clear on the day, we did have below average volume. So let's get into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for MULN, aka Mullen Automotive, as far as for the price action, I am satisfied with it. And the main reason being is the only reason why we had a lower low at $1.52 was a reaction to the Fed meeting. If we didn't have that reaction, I am sure of it that we would have been able to hold up at least $1.60. This was an area of support we were holding up very well for almost the entire day. Or to be exact, I should say it was around 161 and 162. So knowing that, I also took a look at it inside of the after hours and I see that it's at $1.80. So if you are inside of this play, things are still continuing to look good. We are going in the right direction. And we continue to be above the 21-day EMA. So that's why you want to have a strategy if you're jumping into this play. We've been talking about support areas. We've already known there was support that was shown the other day at 154. Then we had another support level at 157. And then we had a break to 152, but for the most part of the day, we were able to stay above 161 and as well as 162, to be exact, $1.62. So again, things are looking good. Yes, we're not getting those big moves, but we have to understand we didn't have a lot of volume like we had on previous days. So this is something we're going to have to continue to watch, because as the volume continues to die down, that's where we can start seeing some weakness in the stock, but we want to see it stay above the 21-day EMA. That is very crucial, and right now that is around $1.40. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential, and it's another reason why you want to keep this play on your watch list, and also why you need to have a strategy before jumping into it. You need to know what your entry is going to be, you need to know what your exit is going to be, and you have to have the right risk management. This is crucial, especially in the choppy markets that we are in. And as far as the news that we got from the Fed, we can look forward to seeing 6 interest rate hikes. As far as for today, they ended up increasing it to what was expected, which was 25 basis points, and we've talked about that in previous videos on this channel. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's see how Mullen performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.